Welcome to Two Small Biz Guys. I'm Zen Benefiel and
Ray Silverstein. It's a great night tonight.
It is.
Do you know the score?
The score. We're going to find out about the score, and they're here. We've heard that they're kind of like the Viagra for small business.
Oh, I imagine so. That's what I keep on hearing all the time.
Yeah. They just really help boost things.
Boost things and build your sales. Darn right. I know you're interested in closing, but we were talking about, do you know the score?
Yeah. Well, we have two members of SCORE with us this evening. George, I'll get it out here.
It's a good Czech name. It's
Sezemsky.
called Sezemsky. There
Sezemsky.
you go.
See, I got it. And I was all caught up on Rod Houston.
So
I couldn't make the switch.
It's a nice
so
Italian name, George.
Right, yeah. Yak Shamash.
So George
how
and
are
Rob,
you?
welcome.
Thank you.
We've got some great things to talk about, and especially, what SCORE's all about, what it offers, how we can get involved, how the community get involved, and events and things that you've got coming up. So, first of all, I'd like to ask you guys, George, let's start with you. How'd you get involved, and what was the impetus of that? I know you've got a pretty extensive background coming out. You might include a little bit of that rather than me just launch into it. I know you like to talk about yourself.
Well,
we all do.
So my mother used to say self-praise stinks, but if you don't pat yourself on the back, nobody's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Is that why your arm is broken? Or
yeah, that's right.
It's in a sling.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
I got into, I bought a franchise back in 2005, and it was a promotional marketing company.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I really loved to do was help people. And basically, that franchise became a marketing arm for every small business company we dealt with. And some of them
specialty products.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it could be T-shirts, it could be pens, it could be tents. It was a very broad spectrum.
Right.
But I really loved the idea of helping these other companies get started. And I was a member of the local chamber in northwest of Chicago a number of years ago. And
your hometown, Ray.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys know each other?
No.
That's a small town.
We have similar people that we know, but,
right.
We probably would have known each other, but I couldn't spell his last name.
And I have trouble pronouncing it. I'm usually pretty good at enunciating.
Well, anyway, a lot of these new companies that joined the chamber, they were, I got a company, now what do I do, Or
right.
I built a building and opened a store and, where are the customers?
Yeah, a lot of business owners jump right into it.
It really became, I got hooked into the helping them market their company, helping them sell. And, that just stuck with me. And I've been doing that for many years throughout my whole career at GE and Marquette Medical. And it just was a natural for me. I really loved doing it. And so when I sold the franchise, moved to Arizona, I looked up SCORE. I heard about it. And
congratulations and condolences on your move, by the way. How do you like the summers?
The summers, actually, I don't mind it as bad as the Chicago winters. Those are really bad. And I love the taxes here. I don't know how Ray stands at going back to Chicago, but man, I'm glad I'm out of there.
It makes you appreciate Arizona every more because you get the difference. Now, how about Rod? You've been out for a while, out of business.
Right. I've been doing SCORE for about 15 years. I've been retired for that long.
You don't look that old.
Thank you. I'm not. I got kicked out early.
Yeah.
But I had spent my life in corporate America, did well. But I have it in my DNA because of my background, my family, to give back. And so I was looking for ways to do that, and this turned out to be just a really very natural way for me to do that, to share the expertise and experience that I had over a career. I figured GE spent $250,000 educating me. I might as well spend it somewhere. So that's sort of why I got into it. And what I found is it's a great thing to do because we are helping people. I happen to do not only for-profit businesses, about 80% of what I do, but 20% of what I do is nonprofit. So I get a double hit with them. And I just love it because people that come into us are all out of the box. They're trying to do something different, something really unique and start a business, etc. I've even had homeless people come in and they want to get out of their rut, and they're trying to figure out how to do that.
That's really encouraging. I work with Self-Employment Loan Fund. You guys are probably familiar. I know
Sure.
you are, Rod. Yeah. I was one of their facilitators, taught the business plan writing classes, and they were women minority-owned businesses. And to see them come in, a lot of them did come in with ideas and just needed a way to get a jump start. And, of course, Self was a microlending organization.
Right.
And so once they passed the audition, so to speak, with their own peers from their group, then we were able to give them some initial money to help them get started. And it was a really good program.
Right.
After 3 years, then they'd have their finances and financials, and they could go to the SBA and take the next step.
Right.
Let me take you back to SCORE.
Yeah.
How does SCORE help these people, and what does SCORE actually do? What is the spectrum of the
What's it
activities?
mean? What's the acronym mean, first of all?
Well, the acronym is like GE and IBM and all those ones that don't mean anything anymore. They used to mean something. It used to mean Service Corps Retired Executives, but we're not allowed to say that anymore. We want to look younger. But it's basically people mostly retired who are either executives that have retired or entrepreneurs like George, and they've sort of gotten into something else. And so in what we do is three things. One is we do business mentoring or consulting with small businesses to help them start up, thrive, and grow. The second thing we do is we provide low-cost seminars. For about $25, you can get a whole range of topics, and we run about 70 a year. And the last thing that SCORE does is we have a national website, and there are a lot of tools on that score.org website. How to write a business plan, how to, templates for financials, articles, et cetera, and just a huge amount of information.
And it is a huge amount of information and resources.
Right.
Because a lot of folks get into business and they don't realize all the details and all the forms and paperwork and things that are necessary to keep track of themselves, the business, and to be able to monitor, and, what's the thing with the metrics, what you measure, you can grow, so to speak.
Were you forgetting a word there?
I was.
Oh, my gosh. And you're the youngest.
I had
of
a
the
senior
group.
moment
Okay.
with
Well, when people go to SCORE, what is the process for them to really get involved? Is there a procedure? Is there a format?
Yeah, and let me say too, just to sort of get to your audience there, that we are basically a part of the Small Business Administration. They fund about half of what we do. The other part comes from donations and other sources.
And you guys
like
actually have an office with them on Central, right?
Yes, we're at Thomas and Central, but we have about 15 different locations around the valley. We've got about 70 volunteers, and the range of skill sets that are available to people are just unparalleled anyplace else in the world. Nationwide, we've got thousands of people in hundreds of different locations.
Actually, around 11,000 nationwide. And all the states and all the cities, major cities, metropolitan areas throughout the U.S.
So when people come in to SCORE, what are they really looking for? Are they looking for the education? Are they looking for the mentoring? Do they come and say, I have this problem?
Are they looking for the blue pill?
What is really the format?
Usually I think people come in and they don't necessarily want to say it, but it's help. We are trying to do something that at this moment we're out of our element. We're either in business and having difficulties and we don't see how to get out of it easily, or that we're going to start up a business and we don't know how to proceed into that.
Do you get more wannabes than people are really actually in business?
We get a fair sampling of both. One of the programs that I'm in is it's called Boots to Business that the SBA puts on, and I help out the SBA office.
So you opened a shoe store.
Yeah, right. It's all ex-military or those getting ready to process out. And we get some people who don't have an idea and just want to do something on their own, to people who have an idea, to people who, maybe have already started their business. So it's all over the whole map. Do all of them succeed? Absolutely not. But we're there to give them a fighting chance. Whereas, without any help, it's like restaurants here in Arizona.
Well, they talk about the lifespan of a business that starts is maybe 2.5 years, 3 years tops. The people who participate in SCORE, do they have a longer lifespan?
I would say yes, they do in general. Do I have statistics to back that up? Personally, no, I don't. One of our speakers coming up here at this symposium on March 15th is the CEO, Yancey, I believe is his name. And he has a bunch of specifics that he'll share. But they're creating 51,000 jobs every year. They're creating new businesses, 11,000 every year. So there's a lot of help to build up small businesses. Sure, some of them are only 1 or 2 person, but
and that's one of the things that's
where it starts.
Right.
It starts there. Now, we also help existing businesses as well. I mean, it could be my brother-in-law has a business out in Surprise, and he's brought it to a certain level, and now he's trying to raise it. We offer that as well. It's not just startups. It's existing businesses, startup businesses, and people with just an idea.
Yeah, what I generally found is that people start up a business because they know a certain skill set, and they operate in their skill set. And all of a sudden the business starts to grow, and they are now operating outside of their skill set because they have these other duties, and they don't know anything about those areas, whether it be in hiring or finance or how they handle the business per se.
And those numbers are huge. Forbes just a couple of years ago stated that there's 28 million small businesses in America. 22 million of those have one employee. Yeah. So that's, those kind of numbers are huge. And so those are the kind of people I would think that would generally really benefit from coming to SCORE and getting some help, or at least being able to get over themselves and ask that first question of, hey, what do I do?
Right.
I got this problem. What do you guys think?
I think one of the best examples I have is a guy, he's probably my longest running client. He's been with me about 8 years. He's on his 3rd business. The first 2 didn't work out. He's persistent. And he's got a good business.
The serial entrepreneur.
Yes, he's got a good business going on now, and it's working and it's growing. And so I'll have breakfast with him about once every month or 2 or 3. And every time we get together, he's got a new problem based on his growth, which is really sort
of
an
good
unusual
problems to have.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have, but it's like, gee, I hired this guy, I tried to clone myself, and it didn't work. And I said, well, the reason is that's the highest value you provide to your business. What you need to get is your lower value functions taken care of so you can double your high value contribution to the business. So he hired sales support people and whatever, and that was working.
Yeah, that's what you call leverage. You got to work in your area of strength.
Right. Like Ray was saying regarding the skill sets, they come into the business with those specific skill sets, and then they need to find other people. So we're going to be taking a short break here in just a moment. I want to let our audience know that there is a Small Business Symposium coming up on March 15th. George mentioned it earlier. It is at the Camelback Inn, and it's an all-day thing. And if you've got some questions, there's going to be lots of people there. We'll be there, too. Ray will be in Chicago, but I'll be there representing the show and other things that we do. So we'll be right back with you. Thanks for listening to Small Biz Guys. What is your dream? Do you want to achieve it? Do you know how? What if you did? Zen Benefield is the Chief Possibilities Coagulator with Be the Dream, Transformational Life Coaching and Professional Services. He'll help you put your dream to paper and process, removing the liabilities, limitations, and excuses in your challenge to change. Changing your outlook and perspectives opens your experience to opportunity and success. Visit BeTheDream.com and make an appointment with Zen. You'll be amazed with the results.
As a business owner, do you ever feel alone? Hi, I'm Ray Silverstein, founder of Pro Presidents Organization. I know business owners want to call their own shots, make appropriate income, and control their destiny. At Pro, our passion is to help you achieve your goals. A Pro peer advisory board meeting is just the thing. It takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. It's a confidential monthly meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have walked in your shoes. I have owned and sold several businesses. I will be your mentor and tormentor to move you forward. When you have issues or opportunities that keep you awake at night, where do you get your help? Pro boards give support and non-biased feedback from your peers. To sample a free Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting, email ray@propres.com. That's ray@propres.com. ray@propres.com. There's no charge and no commitment to attend.
Offering insight, practical advice, and the opportunity for coaching and consulting from their years of real-world experience and understanding. Two Small Biz Guys hit the airwaves with wit and wisdom, exploring small business with a couple of characters in the community, or caricatures as the case may be. Ray and Zen, that is, Mondays at 8 p.m. These guys are passionate about helping entrepreneurs and small business owners explore opportunities, meet challenges, and transform concepts to reality. Two Small Biz Guys, Mondays at 8 p.m. Are you a small business owner looking for education and information and don't have time for school? Is there an area of your business you'd like to know more about but aren't sure where to go or who to ask? Practical Biz U is an online repository of small business courses now available to you on the web. There are single class options, bundles for specific areas, and monthly memberships for ongoing learning opportunities. Go to practicalbizu.com and sign up today. The digital world is vast. Is it working for you? Would you like some qualified help? Zen Benefiel is a wonder with social media who leads focused and organized workshops on multiple platforms like Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. He leads by example, not theory, and teaches you how to live large and lively on the web. From blogs to SEO, his web presence speaks for itself. Take advantage of his expertise. Visit BeTheDream.com and click on Web Wizardry. Hire him while you can. Welcome back to Two Small Biz Guys with Zen
And Ray, we're glad to be back.
and Rod and George this evening. And we're talking about SCORE, then just leaping back into where we were before the break, the symposium coming up. Well, what's that about?
March
Who's going to be there?
15th. Don't
March
forget the date.
15th. I'll repeat that again. And you can actually go to the SCORE website, and there is information there about it. Just go to Google and type in
GreaterPhoenix.score.org. That will get you there.
Great.
And, yeah, this is our third annual business symposium. We started out a couple of years ago, and the first time we had about 350 people. The next one, last year, we had about 650, and we're hoping to get 800 to 1,000 this year. And we've got already well over 500 people signed up, which is excellent for this last-minute crowd here in Phoenix.
Sure. What is it about these Phoenicians? You know, they just kind of, a couple of days before they register, or they just show up.
Absolutely.
No, the reason is, why do today what I can put off until tomorrow?
Right.
Don't you believe in that?
But basically,
Spontaneity is one thing, but come on.
It all has to do with temperature.
what people will get out of the seminar is how to use the latest technologies to grow your business. How do you answer to make your business more profitable? And we have a whole array of speakers, about 10 speakers. We have 40 to 50 exhibitors that are going to be there that market to small businesses.
And we'll be one of those?
Right, and you will be one of those, correct.
So
and
when you have these speakers, are they on a different? Do you have like 5 or 6 at one time, or does that rotate through the day? How does that work?
Well, what we'll have is first we'll have sort of get together session where we'll have a kickoff, a couple of speakers, and then we'll turn it loose. Basically, they can either go to the exhibits or they can select the seminars they want to go to, and there are 4 or 5.
There's 3 sessions, starting right after the introduction, and then there are like 4 concurrent sessions on different topics. For instance, in the first session, winning with social media. Another one would be, we get asked this one a lot, and it's finding the funding to start up your business and grow. Hiring and training a high-performance team, and then coaching to up your game, getting help with your next move. So that's like the first session, but there's 4 concurrent ones going on at the time. So you pick and choose. And, there's a whole host of speakers. We can talk about that maybe a little bit later. Then we have a little break. Then we go into another session, very similar topics, although staying legal with IP regulation, intellectual property regulations,
legal?
data security.
Oh, who wants to stay legal? It's not as much fun.
Yeah, that's right. I like IP better, intellectual property. I mean, trademarks, patents, those types of things. Performance management. Pardon?
Living on the fringe.
That's right.
My patent attorney said years ago, he said, "We don't believe you infringe, but we'll defend you to your last dime."
Was that from Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, or what?
No, that was from "We'll defend you to your last dime."
Also, too, there's one on trade shows, and if you started a business, trade shows are a whole unique experience.
They are.
And A, preparing for it, and B, trying to really understand what you want to get out. And then the follow-up thereafter is really important. I mean, you see people go to trade shows and they come back with a box of cards, and,
they
are they
don't know what
really
to do
going
with
to do
them.
something about it?
Right.
And then the last session it goes with, again, mobile marketing, talks about database decision-making, lean startups and lean operations, and then they wrap up with a keynote speaker, which is a fellow by the name of Robert Bard.
So how long are each one of these sessions? Have they run an hour or 45 minutes? Or
they run just under an hour.
Okay.
About 40 minutes. There's a break in between. And we're also providing lunch, too, our major sponsor, which is Sam's Club.
So what is the investment to participate in this day?
It's very expensive. If you consider the amount of money that you pay yourself when you start your business, that's what it is. So, if you start it up and you're starting it up on a few nickels, it costs you nothing. And it's just your time, really.
Right.
So
The attendance is free.
So the attendance is free and the investment is zero, but actually your return is
phenomenal.
Infinite.
Exponential.
Exponential.
Well,
Exponential.
infinite, because if you divide it by 0.
That's right. It has to be infinite. See, that's the engineering orientation I have. See, you're into the exponential. I'm into the infinite. I know which is bigger.
Now, wait
Which
a minute.
one of you guys is called Zen?
I was just getting ready to say.
He ought to be the infinite, and you ought to be.
I thought I was the cosmic comedian here.
Yeah.
Oh. That's because you're the star.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I just twinkle a lot.
We follow up all of those sessions then with a networking event. We'll have a free lunch and a keynote speaker who is
pass paper, George.
Bob Bard, and basically he's CEO of Latina Style Inc. So a small entrepreneur is going to be the keynote speaker. And then we have a networking event after that, so you'll be able to meet a lot of the small business people that are there and do some networking.
So if I can't come in at 8, it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock?
7:30 doors open, 8:30 the program starts.
So if I can't come in at 8:30, I can come in at 11 o'clock if need be?
There'll be something going on.
Something going on.
Have value. Right?
Just show up. You'll get something out of it.
Yeah, and especially you got to stop by and see Zen.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll have a booth there, right?
He just waved his
we
eyebrows
got a fresh
at me.
banner
He'll do the
that,
same for you.
Yeah. Okay, so then, with the... Oh, there's our break music. Okay, well,
Excellent.
then,
All right.
that was great timing.
Yes, it was.
Speaking of synchronicity, and we'll be right back with Two Small Biz Guys with George and Rod and Ray.
as a business owner, do you ever feel alone? Hi, I'm Ray Silverstein, founder of Pro Presidents Organization. I know business owners want to call their own shots, make appropriate income, and control their destiny. At Pro, our passion is to help you achieve your goals. A Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting is just the thing. It takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. It's a confidential monthly meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have walked in your shoes. I have owned and sold several businesses. I will be your mentor and tormentor to move you forward. When you have issues or opportunities that keep you awake at night, where do you get your help? Pro boards give support and non-biased feedback from your peers. To sample a free Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting, email ray@propres.com. That's ray@propres.com. ray@propres.com. There's no charge and no commitment to attend.
What is your dream? Do you want to achieve it? Do you know how? What if you did? Zen Benefield is the Chief Possibilities Coagulator with Be the Dream, Transformational Life Coaching and Professional Services. He'll help you put your dream to paper and process, removing the liabilities, limitations, and excuses in your challenge to change. Changing your outlook and perspectives opens your experience to opportunity and success. Visit BeTheDream.com and make an appointment with Zen. You'll be amazed with the results. Welcome back to Two Small Biz Guys, and we're right in the middle of having a major score here this evening.
Oh, that's right.
That was really punny.
No, but that was very good.
Yeah.
You must have been reading our speaker host at SCORE, because he's part of...
He's a really punny guy?
Well, he's part of the Phoenix Suns. He's the announcer for the Phoenix Suns.
Oh,
He'll
really?
be our MC for the whole program.
Now, the question is, does he know the score with the way the Phoenix Suns are playing?
Well, I hear they're playing better.
But
we're mentors, we're not coaches, so I don't know if that qualifies for us to really help out.
But now I know why he's going to be at the symposium, because he wants to really learn so he can help the Sun. That's why. Okay.
It's a franchise, right?
That's right.
Okay. So we were talking about the symposium coming up. There's a lot of other things that SCORE does for local business owners throughout the year. And some of those things involve just your basic workshops and seminars that you guys put on quite often. A couple times a month maybe or more?
Well, there's one that happens every month. Actually, there's two that happen every month. One is called the ABCs of Starting Your Business down at the Burton Bar Library.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first Saturday of every month. It's in their Beehive section up there. It's all about getting started, and it's a 3-hour program. Again, it's free. It's put on by, again, SCORE mentors, a lot of people who have walked the talk. And we just started another one, actually, out in Surprise, myself and another mentor. Yeah. I mean, we're trying to take the surprise out of starting your business in Surprise. But anyway, we're running that program, too. We just started that within about the last 2 months. And again, every month.
So you're making business no surprise by being in Surprise.
Boy, I don't know on that one, Ray. That's a stretch.
Okay.
So what else you got going on, Rod?
Well, just about any business topic that a small business owner would be interested in and wanting to know how to write a business plan, how to do sales and marketing, QuickBooks, how to do social media, just a whole range of things. We do, like I said, 70 a year. I happen to teach one that we have the 29th of March from 6 to 9 in the evening. It's on nonprofits, how to apply the techniques and things that are in for-profit operating in business and apply them to nonprofits to help them to operate more effectively and more efficiently.
Now, on the break, we were talking about similarities between profits and nonprofits and just the processes and strategies and functionality of it all. What do you find is probably the most common challenge that business owners have when they come to you? They get into the business and they're working on it, not necessarily in it.
Right. And for me...
or in it, not necessarily on it, I think was...
Yeah, for me, it's the biggest problem I think small business owners have is focus. It's a small business. and there's 1 or 2 or 3 people in the business, and there's 1,000 things to do. And it's just really hard for people who are immersed in the middle of all the problems to take a step back and figure out what are the 3 things I need to work on this week that are the highest priority and will get me to the next place I need to be. And that's basically how we operate, is if you come in to one of our free business mentoring or counseling sessions, the first thing we do is say, tell us about your business, and we'll listen for 10, 15, 20 minutes to make sure we understand where you are and what your problem is and what you need and want from us. And from there, we can sort of develop the thing from a point of view of an expert or somebody who's been through it. I like to tell everybody, I've made plenty of mistakes. I can help you avoid them.
Well, you know the questions to ask now, which they don't.
Right.
And so the better your questions, the better the answers.
Exactly.
You know, I heard something today that, a wise man gets more out of a foolish question than a fool does out of a wise answer.
Good question. Right.
Well, the question is really the key to learning. If you know the questions to ask, you're really far better off.
So we can sort of guide that process in that way, is to help people to get the focus and get their priorities in the right thing, get their strategy right, and get their actions going. When a person leaves my session, I usually ask them, what are the 3 things you're going to do until we meet again? Mm-hmm. And sometimes they'll have 3, but I will always help and coach them through coming up with 3 things they're going to commit to work on, so that when they come in, they've done the right things or someplace.
Now, what kind of metrics and timelines and things like that do you include with that, or does that?
I don't set them.
Okay.
Each individual is different. Some will say, it's going to take me 3 or 4 weeks to get that done, and I'll see you in about a month. I said, fine. Other people say, I got to get going. I'll have this done in the next few days. I'll see you next week. And we'll drive the process with them as fast as they can absorb it.
Now, in my experience, a lot of times you best guess think you can do things much quicker than actually can happen. And so there's a lot of disappointment in that process. And how do you prepare people for that? When I was getting my MBA, the rule of thumb is with some quadratic equation that they use for figuring out timelines and, optimal best and pessimistic, and it all goes together. But the rule of thumb is it's going to take you 3 times as long as what you think it will.
Well, you got to make sure they don't swing for the fences all the time. You got to start with some very achievable goals.
Baby steps, Bob.
Right.
Baby steps.
Right. And I'll tell you, they have an idea, and hopefully they're passionate about it.
Right.
And usually when you start to see that, that's great. And then you have to move them along in increments. And it's like, Rod says, is you got to get them to do some homework. They got to come back with, what they think is important. We'll ask a question, and maybe they'll say their market is, the entire Phoenix region, let's say. And they're a one-person operation, and they're getting into HVAC, and the answer is going to be, well, do you really think you want to start that way?
Right.
Do you have a local community that you're comfortable with? I mean, so you try to narrow it down and get them, again, like Rob says, focus on their business and what they need to do.
And we were talking the other day about the big, hairy, audacious goals and
BHAGs.
The BHAG.
And being able to bring those into order, because a lot of people have them and they have this big vision, and like you guys do, and I do with my clients as well. It's like, okay, how can we whittle this down to where you have a daily action that you can take that is achievable, and you can continue that momentum throughout the rest of the week.
Well, but
West of the week.
Yeah, but there's one aspect.
I'm a wily coyote.
Yeah, but the aspect is, I don't believe that the action that you take, that you should have
is equal to the love you make.
No, maybe the wrong action. My premise is that you have to say, okay, where do I want to be, say a year from now? And if I want to be there a year from now, where do I have to be 6 months from now? Where do I have to be in a month from now? Where do I have to be a week from now? And what do I have to do today to get there? And that's the one thing you really want to work on. Because otherwise, what you get involved.
It's the same thing I did differently.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you use the term, work on something. You have the action, and the action is that it has to be to get you to where you want to go. Because otherwise, you go in the wrong direction.
Right.
Now, you may have to.
You can always turn back.
You may make adjustments because maybe the goal that you set is maybe not a goal that's achievable. So you have to sometimes take a detour, but you have to recognize that.
Progress is usually not static.
Yeah.
It's.
Well, I mean, think about it when you're opening up your business, and in my particular case, and some of my clients, they have a retail business. You come in the morning, and you should have already in your list of things to do is, maybe 3 things to get done that day.
That's the last thing you do the day before.
All right. But when you walk in the morning and the door opens up and you've got 3 customers in front of you with perhaps a whole thing that you didn't focus on.
Don't you say, I can't take care of you, I have to get these 3 things done first?
Yeah,
exactly.
My score mentor told me to do this.
Yeah, that's that percentage that falls off right away.
And that's where you kind of get thrust into the throes of time management, being able to
Time management is critical to a small business, period. Whether you're starting up or you're established for a while, you are bombarded with so many items. You have to pick and choose. And
see, it also goes back to if you take time management years ago, they used to talk about efficiency, and time management today really talks about effectiveness, because you can be very efficient doing the wrong thing.
Right. Absolutely correct.
Yeah, I had a boss that told me, don't confuse activity with accomplishment. And that's, I think, sort of what you're saying there. The other thing I was going to say, though, getting them concentrating on a finite number, 3 or something like that, and having that is what it is they're going to do makes it a little more possible, even with all these interruptions, to have a focus to where they will accomplish something. And when people come back, I understand, that people are not always going to have it done. And so I think part of the process is positivity.
Right.
That is really great that you did this and this and this. And now how are we going to tune that up and do that differently?
Absolutely. And with that positivity, when we're going to break for just a moment for a few more commercials, and we'll be right back with you with 2 Small Biz Guys. Thanks for listening. The digital world is vast. Is it working for you? Would you like some qualified help? Zen Benefiel is a wonder with social media who leads focused and organized workshops on multiple platforms like Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. He leads by example, not theory, and teaches you how to live large and lively on the web. From blogs to SEO, his web presence speaks for itself. Take advantage of his expertise. Visit BeTheDream.com and click on Web Wizardry. Hire him while you can. And we're back with Ray, Rod, George, and Zen. And we're going to mix up the order here a little bit. We were talking on the break about processes and techniques and tools that you guys offer that are really important for the small business owner. But before we get into that, I want to focus on how you deal with the different personalities and their ability to perform based on the agreements they've made as far as their own goals and accomplishing them. Because we all, operate differently to pressures and encouragement and peers and mentors. So how do you handle that? What are the key signs that you kind of look for in how people are going to respond to their...
Can I put one question in, which is on top of that?
Just one.
Okay, it was a statement.
Okay.
Do you get involved in personality assessments of people so that you know what style that they are so that you can work with their style?
He picked up on that. That's why I was hoping you guys would...
I have one basic rule. Have fun. Have fun at it. Anybody that comes in and works with me, we're going to laugh a lot. It's serious business, but on the other hand, it can't be so serious that it gets in the way.
If you don't enjoy it, you don't have
Absolutely.
fun, you make yourself sick.
Right. So, fundamentally, people have to set their own way that they're going. You know, I can help, I can prod, I can do this or that, but that's really not my job. My job is to help to make this whole process fun, help to get people focused on doing the right things at the right time, and knowing and understanding
Getting that
where
last
it is.
shot in before the buzzer.
So George, how do you handle that?
Well, let's first start off by saying there's 70 mentors in 23 Valley locations. So if you run into a situation where there does appear to be perhaps a not good gel, there is lots of other resources in Phoenix, in a lot of this, in our organization to help them. From my perspective, years ago, one of my great General Electric courses was a thing called selection interviewing. And you start out with, you keep asking open-ended questions to try to pull out from the person, their values, their ideas, their concepts. And then as you get more and more down in the funnel of things, you focused on their business and, well, what do you want to do about that? What's the next step? And usually when you put people at ease, if you do a very good interview first, you put people at ease, they begin to open up, and you can relate and bond with them on a relationship. I mean, it's back to selling. Selling's a very big relationship activity unless you're, unless you're doing commodities.
And that relationship is on an ocean of emotion.
All right, that's right. And, and I found that's how I deal with it, Ray. So, getting them to open up and talk about their business, their idea, their concepts, is a way to break that barrier down and to form a communication and a bond with the people. I mean, sometimes it's interesting. They almost want to put you on their team once you really bond well, and that's where we kind of just we have a big ethics
thing
that we sign.
We're over here on this side, and you're over there.
Right.
We need to stay there.
Okay,
but I mean, we cannot necessarily. We have a whole code of ethics, and NDA,
Sure.
Non-compete type activities. And, usually then when they starting to make comments like that, we say, whoa, we like your business, we like you, we want to help you succeed. And that's when you've really got a bond, when they start treating you almost as a part of their team, which they should.
Absolutely.
But only from a mentor perspective.
Yeah.
You don't have any skin in their game, if you will.
Sure.
Well, selling generally is an 80-20, 80% listening, 20% talking. So do you find that the same thing is true when you mentor these people?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. The more you get them to talk and open up, the more you're going to learn about them, about their business, about their idea. And the more they talk. Now,
they answer their own questions in that process, too.
Absolutely. They come up with their own assignments for the next session.
Right.
And then also say, well, when would you like, as Rob mentioned earlier, when would you like to meet again? Well, I want to do that next week, because they get invigorated and excited, and they want to, okay, let's get more.
How do you handle the situation where they get so excited and so involved that their appetite is larger than what they really can accomplish? So Zen asked the concern before, so they don't get turned off. So how do you handle that?
Well, it's back to prioritizing, helping them prioritize their activities. What do you want to get done first? What do you want to get done second? And we'll try to steer them in a direction.
Right.
It's like coming up with a feasibility for your business. One of the first things you should probably do, can I make money at this idea?
And that gets into what Rod and I were talking about earlier, was the financials that are necessary, and people come in, they don't necessarily know what the heck that is. And Rod, you were saying, you've got on the SCORE website, there is a financial packet somewhere that's a macro, basically.
Right.
And you were talking about some of your experience with that.
Yeah. One of the first things you have to do is answer the question, can I make money? And you may have some idea, I can sell this for X dollars and I can get this kind of volume, et cetera. And people don't have a really good appreciation or understanding. Can you make money doing that? And so I always ask them, how much money do you want to make? And then they say, okay, let's see if that works. Mm-hmm. And one way of doing that, you can tell them you need to have a profit and loss statement. But a lot of people look at that and say, oh my God, that's deep finance. I can't do that. So what we have on the score.org website is a financial template, which are a group of spreadsheets that connect with each other. And they ask the really simple questions that people can answer. So, for example, the first one might be, how much money do you need to borrow to start? And what are you going to use it for? So you just write that out on that spreadsheet. The next one may be, how many orders are you going to get? How many orders do you think you can get? And what you're going to sell them for? How many are you going to sell, et cetera? What do you think the cost is going to be per unit? And, what are your overhead costs, et cetera? And people just go through this series of spreadsheets and answer questions that they can answer one at a time.
Right.
And
makes the process really simple.
Yeah, at the end
and much less threatening.
Yeah, at the end of the process, guess what happens? A profit and loss statement pops out of
magically
all of the stuff
appears.
we filled in. Yeah,
like Lucky Charms.
And people that have gone through that process with me, when we sit down and do it, they start out and say, "I can't do it. I can't do a P&L." And at the end of sitting down and just having throwing numbers in there, they say, "Oh, I can do this. I understand how this works now."
Right.
Yeah.
Do you also get involved in cash flow studies for them or with them?
Oh, absolutely. I was working with a fellow who wanted getting out of the service, and he wanted to start his own barber shop. And he was already working, employed. And
did he ever want to give his bank a haircut?
Well, getting back to the story, we gave him a small project to do to begin to put together his expenses and what he needed to live on, and we started basic, really basic. And so we went through an exercise, and, he went back to business, a week or two passed, came back, we looked at the spreadsheet to see how he was doing. And so then we started making adjustments. He says, geez, I'm not happy with this, because we got him down and says pre-tax, what was this number? And he says, that's not enough. And I says, okay, well, what do you want to do? You got two big variables to work on, the top line and the expenses, and then you get to the bottom line. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting. He came to his own conclusions. He came to his own conclusion saying, geez, I've got to either get more people through an hour on the chairs, or I got to charge the chair rental high. Or, he was already starting to think based upon the model that we put together, and he did all the work, but he began to see it very clearly that says, wow, I got to really think through this, because if I can't, capture the nut of the rent and the employees, et cetera, this isn't going to be a winning situation.
Speaking of a winning situation, there's a business symposium coming up on March 15th at the Camelback Marriott. Look that up on the greaterphoenix.score.org website, or I think you might even be able to get redirected from the score.org website if you're geolocated.
Correct.
And we thank you very much, guys, Rod and George. It was great information. We appreciate it. Ray, we'll see you next time.
Darn right.
Thanks for listening to Two Small Biz Guys.